The wind on Taiyang 9 was not like Earth's. It didn't blow it cut, it screamed like a wounded ghost. Snow and ice came down like needles, thick and fast. The sun was hidden, maybe gone. Still Ji-hye walked. Her boots were heavy with ice. Her helmet visor kept fogging up. Her fingers, even inside heat gloves, felt stiff. She was a medic, not a soldier. Not a hero. But when command lost contact with a small recon drone in this area, they needed someone. So they sent her, because Ji-hye always said yes. She didn't expect to find anyone alive. Just wreckage. Maybe a broken machine, buried under snow. Walked through the storm, her scanner buzzing, showing nothing but static. Her breath came hard. Then she saw it. Not a drone. Not metal. It was a body. No, not human. Not any alien she knew. It was huge, stretched across the broken base of an old satellite dish. Its fur was white, thick, but soaked with blood that had frozen into the snow. One of its front legs looked twisted. Its ribs showed like broken tree roots beneath thin skin. Its eyes, one blind, clouded, the other still glowing dim, looked at her without fear. Without hope either. Ji-hye froze. She had seen photos of alien creatures, of wolves from the old galactic wars, but she never thought they were real. Not now, not here. The creature didn't growl, didn't move. Just lay still, breathing in slow, tired gasps. Her hand went to her cum. Protocol said she should report and leave. But something made her pause. Maybe it was the eyes. Maybe it was the way the snow didn't seem to touch it anymore. Like even. The storm had given up. Her voice came out quiet. "It's okay," she whispered, stepping closer. "You don't have to fight." The creature blinked once. Slow, like it understood. Ji-hye dropped to her knees beside it. The cold bit into her skin, but she didn't care. She opened her emergency bag. The plasma foam was half frozen, but still worked. She sprayed it on the worst wounds. She stitched what she could with shaky hands. She wrapped its leg, then carefully placed her last heat pack against its side. "You made it this far," she said, brushing blood from its fur. "You won't die now, not if I can help it." The creature gave a long, low breath. Not a growl, not a cry, just breath. Like letting go, Ji-hye kept talking, even though she knew it probably didn't understand. "I had a dog once," she said, her voice shaky. "Back on Earth, name was Dury. He always looked at me like I was magic, even when I messed up." She laughed, soft and tired. "I wasn't magic. I failed my first field test, almost gave up. But I didn't. You and me were the same. We don't quit." The wind screamed louder outside. She took out her last energy blanket and set up a small thermal tent, barely big enough for her. But she opened it halfway and dragged the creature's front inside. "Oh, it's back." Then sat beside it, shivering, whispering more stories. "You know," she said, "they say wolves are loyal. Even the ones not from Earth." The creature's head moved, just a little. It didn't growl. It didn't run. Nudged its nose cold. And dry against her hand. Ji-hye felt her throat close up, not from cold. She pressed the emergency beacon on her suit. "Rescue will come," she told it. "They'll take you somewhere safe. I promise." But the wolf just closed its eyes. She stayed awake, afraid it would stop breathing. Hours passed, maybe more. Through the snowstorm, lights cut through the dark. A medevac drone hovered above, scanning the tent. Voices came through her earpiece. Medic Ji-hye respond. "We see heat signatures. Are you alone?" "No," she said. "Not alone." The drone's lights fell on the creature beside her. Growled soft, but stayed still. "Is that?" the voice asked. "Yes," Ji-hye said. "He's not dangerous. He's just hurt." "Step away, Ji-hye. We can extract you." No, her voice was firm. "He stays with me." There was silence on the line. Finally, copy that, preparing for joint extraction. As the drone lowered, Ji-hye whispered one last time to the creature, "You're not alone anymore, Hobie." She didn't know why she called him that. Maybe it was the way he reminded her of something ancient, strong, and kind. Hobie, a name from stories her grandmother told. A a name for something forgotten but still brave. As the med drone lifted them into the sky, Ji-hye looked down at the ruined world below. And then, at the old white wolf breathing beside her, she didn't save him because she had to. She saved him because he'd already been left behind too many times, and this time, someone stayed. Everyone at the recovery base stared when the drone landed. Ji-hye stepped out slowly, her hair messy, and her face pale from the cold. Beside her, stepping carefully, was the wounded albino creature, tall as a horse, quiet as the snow. One of the techs dropped their tablet. No one moved. No one spoke. Then someone asked, Did you tame that thing? Ji-hye didn't even look at them. She just placed her hand gently on the creature's neck and said, No, I didn't tame him. Stayed. They gave the alien wolf a name, Baiko, after the mythical white guardian, but Ji-hye called him Hobie. He answered to her voice. No one else's. The doctors tried to treat him, but he wouldn't let them come close. He growled when they approached with tools. But when Ji-hye stepped into the room, he calmed. His ears lowered. His body relaxed. If she spoke, he listened. If she laughed, he huffed a soft breath, almost like he was trying to copy her, they learned. He wasn't just any creature. He was one of the old sentinels built, born, or maybe shaped long ago, to protect something holy. The temples of a vanished alien race. Most sentinels were gone now. Hobie had survived somehow through war and cold and time. He had waited, watched, and finally gave up, until she came. Now he ate only if Ji-hye fed him. He healed faster when she stayed close. When she read old Earth books to him, he tilted his head, as if understanding the rhythm, if not the words. Other researchers didn't understand. Why her? They asked. What does he see in her? But no one had an answer. Ji-hye didn't care. She was just glad he was getting better. Sometimes she sat by his side under the heat lights, her fingers in his thick fur, and whispered, It's okay now, Hobie. You're not alone anymore. He would close his eyes, and for a moment, he looked like he was at peace. Weeks passed. Then the attack came. A mining unit, rogue and long abandoned, came back online. A huge machine, rusted but dangerous. It stormed the base, mistaking them for enemies. It crushed the fences and fired warning shots. Everyone ran. Ji-hye tried to help the injured. She didn't see the metal claw swing until it was too late. It hit her side, throwing her against a wall. Her vision went black, but the moment she screamed, something old and powerful woke up. Hobie had been watching, waiting. He saw her fall and he moved. The beast that once accepted death now roared with fire. He leapt through the broken wall, teeth flashing, claws ripping through metal. The mining bot turned, confused. It never had to fight a legend before. But Hobie didn't hesitate. He tore into it with wild strength, not caring about pain, not stopping. Sparks flew, steel cracked, fire burst from broken pipes. When it ended, the bot lay in pieces, and Ho, be covered in blood and oil, stood over Ji-hye's body, growling at the world, daring it to come closer. She woke later in the med bay. Her ribs were broken, her head bruised. She couldn't sit up. But Hobie was there, lying on the floor beside her bed. Breathing slow, his fur dirty, burned in places. But he was alive. She reached out a weak hand and touched his paw. You big idiot, she whispered. You could have died. He looked at her with that one glowing eye, then huffed softly. His head rested beside her pillow. When the doctors came in, they were quiet. No one told him to leave. News of what happened spread fast. The alien wolf who fought for a human medic. The creature who chose to stay. Reporters came. Military officers asked questions. Scientists ran tests. But when someone asked Ji-hye, why did he save you? She didn't think long. Her voice was calm when she answered. Because when he gave up on life, someone stayed, and he remembered. They built him a space outside the base, a quiet field with heat lamps and thick soil for his paws. Ji-hye visited every day. Sometimes she brought books, sometimes music. Sometimes she just sat in silence beside him. She told him about Earth, about stars, about places they might go. Hobie didn't speak. He didn't need to. His body healed. Fur grew back. The scars stayed, but he wore them with pride. Sometimes, soldiers would pass by and pause to watch the strange pair, the woman and the beast, a medic and an old guardian. When Ji-hye was cleared to return to duty, the option to leave. She looked at Hobie, then smiled. "I'll stay," she said, "at least until he wants to go." But he never left her side again, and no one ever tried to separate them. Somewhere in the dark past, Hobie had been built to guard temples of stone now. He chose to guard something else, something small, something human, but to him it was sacred. And this time he chose to live, not because someone commanded it, but because she did not walk away.